1,000 days of lessons for discipline, 10,000 days of lessons for mastery. Miyamoto Musashi, one of my favorite characters in history, master swordsman from Japan, never lost a duel, and was a maniac about practice and discipline. Ours is 10 to 15 minutes each and every day. Don't forget Patreon Members Live question and answer call-in session tomorrow, Wednesday, the 1st of September. I will be opening up some additional slots for Patreon support after tomorrow. I've got a lot of people I know waiting in line, wanting to join. Again, we are not increasing the price of the lowest level. It's $30 a month. It is there to help support the channel and all the work we do here. It is there for that reason alone. We appreciate all our Patreon members at all the levels. And let's jump into these charts and see where things are going. Most everything down for the day. The only thing up was gold a little bit. Let's jump into the S&P 500 as the week continues to move. We see that we are quite laminated on the price percent oscillator, though it's still just below the red signal line. Have a green up candle trying to form this Heikin-Ashi candlestick. Completely different in the way that it is calculated from the regular high open low close Japanese candlestick. Heikin-Ashi means average pace in Japanese. We have a great training. I think it's probably the most popular one on the internet on Heikin-Ashi. To understand it, I urge you, if you don't understand Heikin-Ashi candlesticks, to please take that training. Just look it up. And we had several 100,000 people take it. It is extremely good and helpful. And after that, you'll understand why we use Heikin-Ashi candlesticks and how helpful they are in seeing what's actually going on. Not getting hung up in all these different little patterns and the other things that really might not work for you. Derivative oscillator gaining a bit of upward momentum still. Check out the 2-day. We had the 2-day, it sort of got messy there. There we go. We had the 2-day crossover going up, not a recross, just a crossover. That happened back on Monday the 30th. So again, we're continuing to watch. This is the first day of the latest 2-day candle. It's continuing to move up. Derivative oscillator, however, still negative. We look at the half day. That's where we can see where things peaked on Monday and then sort of blew off that steam intraday, pushing through that half-day trend line. Still positive, but headed down. Derivative oscillator still positive, losing momentum. That's where we are on the S&P. Is there going to be a crossover going up? Don't know. We'll wait and see how the week plays itself out. What about the Qs? Well, we see that the price percent oscillator is slowly pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillators a little more than flat. Green up candle, even though down for the day a little bit. Let me go back to the S&P because I can't see. 0.08. S&P was down just 0.15. So just small down days today on both the S&P and the Nasdaq 100, which is what the Qs represents. That's where we are on the weekly. What about the 2-day? Well, we can see where, again, Heikin-Ashi candlestick trying to draw a green up candle for us above the 2-day trend line, first day of this latest 2-day candle. We do see now that the derivative oscillator has oscillated into the green. Price percent oscillator, like we said, slowly pulling away from the red signal line. We can see intraday where we didn't reach a higher high. We had a real slowdown in the morning, a little bit up more in the afternoon. So again, price percent oscillators a little more than flat. Derivative oscillators gained a little bit of momentum. So we'll watch and see how things continue to move on. And we need, for some reason, these got shifted off. But we'll see how things continue to move and how that 2-day wraps up on Wednesday at the close of the market. But we did have that 2-day recross going up, and we'll see how that continues to play out. Let's move on to 20-year bonds. Down for the day, again, having a hard time seeing that. Let me go back. 0.68%. And what do we see happening? Well, the price percent oscillator, flat, derivative oscillator, positive, losing momentum. We can see this week starting off as really almost a doji, a red doji, after things sort of devolving over the last week, just continuing to sort of do that as far as just looking at the weekly. We go to the 2-day, and of course you can see the price percent oscillator pulling away from the red signal line. Derivative oscillator not gaining downward momentum, actually losing it. We had previously pretty much a green spinning top or doji, lots of indecision. So far on the 2-day, first day of the latest one, about the same, just sitting right there on the weekly trend line, a little bit above that prior trend line on the 2-day. So we'll continue to watch, see how that plays out. And of course, you can see where things peaked on Monday. And then again, starting to lose some momentum. You can see lots of movement around on Tuesday morning. And then, of course, pulling over in the afternoon. Price percent oscillator heading down. Derivative oscillator still a little bit positive. So that's where we are. Again, things just sort of in flux when it comes to stocks and bonds. Now gold up 0.22%. I'm liking what I'm seeing. The derivative oscillator continuing to get smaller. Price percent oscillator crossing over right now. Now again, it's not the end of the week yet. And if you do look, we're not hitting the high we hit in the prior week. I'd very much like to see bigger green candle going to a higher high. Nice strong crossover with the derivative oscillator also going green by the end of the week. We'll wait and see how this plays out. We look at the 2-day, and again, 2-day moving up, just right up that 2-day trend line. That's good to see. Derivative oscillator gaining upward momentum. Price percent oscillator heading up. I want to see that weekly stronger as we get toward the end of the week. What do we see with the half day? That's where you can see the real inherent weakness. You can see where things popped up on Friday afternoon and then just sort of down on Monday, trying to gain a little bit on Tuesday, but still not hitting the higher high that we saw back on Friday. That price percent oscillator is positive and flat. Derivative oscillator is gaining a little bit at the end of the day. So we'll see how gold continues to move throughout the course of the week and whether or not we have a weekly vertical crossover at the end of the week. What's up with Bitcoin? Bitcoin down a little bit for the day. Again, 0.66%. What do we see for this week? Well, a slowdown. It's not a red down candle. It's a red open box, means a slowdown in the up movement. Derivative oscillator still gaining some momentum. That price percent oscillator continuing to sort of shave off some of its energy. What about the 2-day? That's where we really see that sideways slide underway. Price percent oscillator still positive, flat, maybe heading down a little bit. Derivative oscillator, peaked back last week and again is just not gaining as again things did pop up, hit the highest high back on Tuesday the 24th, and then we just sort of see things sliding since then. So we'll watch and see how things continue to play out. Look at the half day. We can see where we had some down movement through the 26th in the afternoon Thursday, popping up some on Friday and then devolving again. So we'll keep our eye on Bitcoin, pay lots of attention to that 2-day, lots of attention to the weekly, and we'll see how things go. Now remember, this last run-up we had some of these red open box candles. It was when the red closed candles started kicking in that we really started seeing the devolution. So we'll hope Bitcoin is just digesting some gains and getting ready to keep slamming up. That's where we are, folks, as we end the day. Look so forward to talking to our Patreon members tomorrow. God bless you, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.